Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome once again to this week's edition of the Still Real to Us Show, episode number 112 for April 5th, 2012. We are in post-Wrestlemania mode here at the Still Real to Us Show. We're going to recap everything in WrestleMania. There was this big return that happened on Monday night. I don't know if anybody heard about it. We're going to have a lot of fun. WrestleMania is still in season here on this week's edition of the Still Real to Us Show. I am one half of the Wrestling Podcast Tag Team Champions of the World. I am the champ, Jeff Peck. And joining me this week, Redneck Revolution Stand Up, is the one and only Captain Obvious. Captain, how are we, buddy?
Doing really well. Trying to recover from my WrestleMania hangover / work week. So doing really good. We're getting an early jump on the show today. So if you hear somebody snoring, it's actually probably my dog.
Oh, awesome. Any chance we get a dog to come on the Still Real to Us show? It just basically, I think we could check off the rest of our radio bucket list.
I mean, it's not as good as when Charlie comes on or Cause's son comes on, the Wheelhouse, but, you know, I make do when I can.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. So, before we get into covering WrestleMania, I talked to Captain the other day about how his WrestleMania experience was. So I'm interested to hear that. Him and I both watching WrestleMania in restaurants, not in our houses, because I'm not going to pay $65 just to watch it by myself. So I went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and last week I gave them a lot of props for the job that they did last year when I watched WrestleMania 27. This year, not so much, Captain. I never got silverware as I sat and watched WrestleMania. I don't know if it's because I'm a wrestling fan and they don't really look at me as a customer, but I'm sitting there, myself and my girlfriend, God bless her for sitting there and watching WrestleMania for 4 hours with me. Get our appetizer. If anybody gets the sampler or has ever had it at Buffalo Wild Wings, you get onion rings, nachos, buffalo wings, all the works that clog up your arteries. And we never get silverware. They tell us that it's getting washed. Have you ever been in a restaurant, Captain? And I didn't have this even when I had my meal. Have you ever been in a restaurant where you kind of felt like, holy shit, they don't want me here?
No, I had a similar experience Sunday myself. As first was reported on WrestleChat.net, Buffalo Wild Wings, a lot of their restaurants decided not to host WrestleMania this year because the cost per venue went up from $200 per show to $700 per show. So a lot of the restaurants didn't find it cost effective. So there was only one place in Fayetteville, where I live, Fayetteville, North Carolina, that was showing WrestleMania, and that was Hooters. So when I got there a little bit before 7, like 6:45. The place is already packed. I didn't get a table until Cena Rock started their match.
Are you kidding me?
No, luckily they have like an outside patio area, and they have 3 flat screens out there. So me and my friend were basically just sitting there, like leaned up against the rail, watching WrestleMania for 3 hours. And like every time we saw a table clear out, we'd stop the waitress. She's like, "Oh, well, there's the list." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I've been on the list for 3 hours. I'd like to sit down at some point." She goes, well, can't you see the show from where you're standing? And I'm like, yes, but the purpose of coming to a restaurant is to have food. It's something you guys put on a plate and we eat. I can't do that standing outside.
It's kind of
So
hard when you're leaning on a rail. It's hard to balance your appetizer in one hand and the meal in the other.
yeah, and then plus, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's a military town. Fort Bragg is right here, so you get a lot of GIs who have been drinking heavily, and like there was shattered glass on the ground, and like little kids running around barefooted with shattered glass. I'm like, this is the epitome of the redneck revolution. It's just I'm on the outside looking in, literally.
So it was like being at a redneck zoo almost.
Yeah, I would go. I would say that, and then just the fact that like even the managers would walk past and see like there's four tables on the balcony, like on the patio open, and I felt like Oliver Twist, like banging on the window outside, saying, "Please, sir, can I come in and sit down and watch WrestleMania with you?"
Well, that's great to hear that you and I had both awesome experiences at various restaurants this weekend and to enjoy WrestleMania. The one thing I guess is the silver lining in this all, Captain, is we got to watch WrestleMania.
I'll go like a light gray lining because I'm still not thrilled with how WrestleMania turned out.
Oh, okay, a little preview here. So let's kick it right into gear, Captain. WrestleMania 28 airing this Sunday on pay-per-view. It's the Super Bowl of wrestling. Um, I didn't get a chance to watch the pre-show at all. I read the results, the Primo and Epico defeating Justin Gabriel, Tyson Kidd, and the Usos. Did you by any chance get to watch that tag team title match yet?
No, I missed it as well, and like after hearing about it, I'm like, really, we couldn't have fit that one on the bill somewhere else. I mean, some of the matches were very lackluster at best, so I would have been much happier seeing, the tag team match that way. But then reading about it, I'm like, okay, well, it's still a good match. Maybe next year they'll do the same thing like they did with Sheamus Bryan and put him on the bill next year instead of leaving him off the card this year.
Boy, if they have the same luck that Sheamus and Bryan had this year, boy, that tag team title match is going to be rather interesting. So I heard the tag team title match was really good. Still have not yet watched it, so I'll have to check that out soon. I think WWE still has it up on YouTube, so I'll have to check it out. But I saw on Twitter, Captain, just before WrestleMania, WrestleChat.net on Twitter, posting that Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, the World Heavyweight Championship match, would open the show. The second year in a row that the World Heavyweight Championship match was opening up a WrestleMania. Did you see that tweet come out from WrestleChat.net? Did you know that the World Heavyweight Championship match was going to be opening the show this year?
No, I missed the tweet, but like you and I talked about last year, I just kind of felt like that match would be the start of the show, considering it was the start of the show last year.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I actually, you and I talked about who we thought it was going to be. You went Bryan and Sheamus. I went CM Punk and Jericho. You were right. I was wrong. Nonetheless, I was excited because opening match, you kind of figure in wrestling that they're going to be given a great length amount of time. They're setting the bill. They're setting the foundation for the rest of the show. All the other matches are going to follow suit on however long Daniel Bryan and Sheamus go. So it's like awesome, great. Daniel Bryan is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Sheamus, he isn't too bad himself. Great wrestler in the ring. I enjoy his work. So you're going to get a match, maybe for 10, 15 minutes. And Sheamus gets in the ring. And let me tell you how my experience was for this, Captain. I'm sitting down. Sheamus gets in the ring, obviously. Daniel Bryan's in the ring. I go to my phone, and I'm going to tweet, okay, here we go. WrestleMania is officially kicked off. Looking forward to Bryan and Sheamus. And all of a sudden I hear in the background of the rest of the Buffalo Wild Wings, and this is a pretty big Buffalo Wild Wings, actually. So that's the only positive I could say from this, is a loud, oh! And I'm like, what just happened? And I could hear, because there's a lot of people there, the commentary not too well, I could hear like this big slap. And I look up at the screen, Sheamus is covering Daniel Bryan, 1, 2, 3. 18 seconds later, I'm in complete shock that you have two of your best young in-ring workers. Second year they have been advertised for a WrestleMania match. This is a match that fans are anticipating will possibly steal the show. And WWE goes with the storyline to try to beat the Chavo Guerrero Kane record from WrestleMania 24, that was a ECW championship match. Yes, at one time the ECW title was defended at WrestleMania. It made absolutely no sense to me at all